Dear students, I welcome all to the term 2 of the academic year 2020-21. This year has been a crucial year for all of us, isn't it? This pandemic situation had changed even our lifestyle. But we should do our duty, isn't it? What is your duty? To study. Yes. So, let's start our next chapter, which is chapter number 8, that is comparing quantities. In day-to-day life, you compare each other, isn't it? You compare the things which you have, or the money, or even your marks, isn't it? So today, let's learn comparing using some mathematical quantities, okay? So children, in this video, we would learn about these things, that is, under comparing quantities, we would learn about ratio, proportion, unitary method, and percentage. So, under ratio, we would learn the simplest form of a ratio and comparison of ratios. And under percentage, we would learn converting a fraction, decimal, and ratio into percentage, and also converting a percentage into decimals, ratio, and fractions. So let's start the class. So children, let's begin with ratios. Here I have a few blocks of green and yellow color. There are 3 green blocks and 4 yellow blocks. Now, what is the ratio of green is to yellow? It is 3 is to 4. Now, I cannot tell that 3 is to 4 is equal to 4 is to 3 because it would change the ratios. So as I told you, the ratio of green block is to yellow block is 3 is to 4, and the ratio of yellow block is to green block is 4 is to 3. So children, as I showed you with the blocks of green and yellow, the ratio what we got was 3 is to 4. Here the first term is called as antecedent and the second term is called as consequent, and we can write this particular ratio as 3 by 4, that is the antecedent in the numerator and the consequent in the denominator. So children, remember that the ratios has no unit, okay? Now let's move on to our next topic, which is simplest form of a ratio. You have already learned this in your lower classes. So let's recall it. I have a question here, 16 by 48. So how can you reduce this fraction to its simplest form? Yes, we can find the HCF of these two numbers. So here I have shown how to find the HCF of 16 and 48. Since both these numbers are divisible by 2, you can write 2 here, and we have written 8 here because 8 into 2 is 16 and 24 into 2 is 48. Next, both these numbers are divisible by 2. So I have written 2 here, and 4 into 2 is 8 and 12 into 2 is 24. Next, 4 and 12 both are divisible by 2. Now 2 into 2 is 4 and 6 into 2 is 12. So I have written 2 and 6 here. Next, again 2 and 6 both are divisible by 2. So write 2 here, 1 into 2 is 2 and 3 into 2 is 6. Now multiply all these numbers which are written on the side. Okay, 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. So the HCF is 16. Okay, now we got the HCF of 16 and 48 as 16. Now we can divide the numerator as well as denominator with this HCF. So we have 16 by 16 by 48 by 16. Now 16 by 16 is 1 and 48 by 16 is 3. So now when it comes to ratio, this fraction can be written as 16 is to 48, isn't it? Now the simplest form of this ratio is 1 is to 3. So the ratio can be written as fraction and do the simplification in the form of fraction and then convert the fraction to ratios. Okay? So children, next let's move on to comparison of ratios. I have two ratios here. One is 5 is to 8 and 7 is to 9. Now we should find which ratio is greater. So in order to find that, first convert this ratio to fraction. That is, write the first term in the numerator and the second term in the denominator. Now 5 by 8 or 7 by 9 is greatest. So in the fractions, we have already learned how to find which fraction is greatest. Yes, by finding out the LCM. Now find the LCM of this denominators 8 and 9. So when you do this factorization, we get the LCM of 8 and 9 as 72. 8 into 9 is 72. Now multiply the denominator with a number so that we get 72 in the denominator. Now 8 we can multiply by 9 to get 72. So multiply the numerator also with the same number, that is 9. Now 5 into 9 is 45. Now look at the next value, which is 7 by 9. So in order to get 72 in the denominator, we should multiply the denominator by 8. So multiply the numerator also by 8. Now 7 8s are 56. And 9 into 8, we know that it is 72. Now we got 45 by 72 and 56 by 72. Which is greatest? This is greatest because the numerator is greatest in this fraction. So 56 by 72 is for the fraction 7 by 9. So we can conclude that 7 is to 9 is greater than 5 is to 8. Okay? So children, we learned about ratios, the simplified form, and to compare two ratios. Now let's move on to proportion. Okay? What is proportion? When two ratios are equal, then all these four quantities are in proportion. Okay? That is, when A is to B is equal to C is to D, then we can tell that A, B, C, D are in proportion. So we can write it as A is to B as C is to D. You already know this symbol we call it as is to, and this one we can call it as. Okay? And in the case of equivalent fraction, we have learned when A by B is equal to C by D. Then we can cross multiply this and we can write it as A into D is equal to B into C. That is, when A by B equal to C by D, we can tell that AD is equal to BC. So, in the case of fractions, when AD is equal to BC, A by B equal to C by D. So, similarly, when it comes to ratios, when AD is equal to BC, we can tell that two ratios are equal. Okay? So, children, when we write A is to B as C is to D, we tell that A, B, C, D are in proportion. So, A and D are the extreme terms and B and C are the middle terms. Okay? Now, let's check whether 13, 15, 17 and 23 are in proportion. So, how can we check? We can check by this, by multiplying A and D and B and C. If AD is equal to BC, then we can conclude that all these numbers are in proportion. Okay? For that, multiply A and D, that is 13 and 23. So, when you multiply 13 and 23, we get 299, and when you multiply 15 and 17, we get 255. See, both these numbers are not equal. That means these numbers, that is 13, 15, 17 and 23 are not in proportion. Okay? So, children, here I have a question from exercise 8.1, question number 6. The question is, a ribbon 10 centimeter 5 millimeter long is to be divided in the ratio 1:4. Find the length of each part. Okay? So, we have to find the length of each part of the ribbon, which is in the ratio 1:4. And the total length of the ribbon is given as 10 centimeter 5 millimeter. Now, look here, the unit is different. Now, we should make the unit same. So, you already know that 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. So, what is 10 centimeter? 10 into 10 millimeter, that is 100 millimeter. So, 10 centimeter is 100 millimeter. Now, in this place, that is in the place of 10 centimeter, we can write 100 millimeter. Now, 100 millimeter plus 5 millimeter is 105 millimeter. So, the total length of the ribbon is 105 millimeter. Okay? And the ratio is given as 1:4. We should divide the ribbon in the ratio 1:4. So, let's take the length of one part as 1x and the length of the other part as 4x. Okay? So, the total length is 1x plus 4x, and we already got the length as 105. So, 1x plus 4x is 105. So, 1x plus 4x is 5x. So, 5x equal to 105. Now, how to find the value of x? By taking this 5 to the denominator. So, 105 by 5. So, when you divide 105 by 5, we will get 21. So, the value of x is 21. Since we got the value of x, we can easily find the length of ribbon, which is to be made into two parts, that is 1x and 4x. So, 1x is 21. So, one part of the ribbon is 21 millimeter and next part is 4x, that is 4 into 21. 4 into 21 is 84. So the second part, that is the ribbon which is in this ratio is 84. So the ribbon can be divided in the ratio 1:4 as 21 millimeter and 84 millimeter. So children, next let's move on to unitary method. This is the simple method to solve mathematical problems. So here we would have certain value for some units, okay, and from that given value we should find the value for a single unit, and after finding that value we can find whatever is needed. That is, see this example, I have 7 pens here, okay. Now let the cost of these 7 pens be 42, okay. The total cost of the 7 pens is 42. Now what will be the cost of 1 pen? We should divide 42 by 7. When you divide 42 by 7, we will get 6. So the cost of 1 pen is 6. So we found the value for a single unit. Now since we have the value for single units, we can find the value for many. For example, this pen cost 6 rupees. Now what is the cost of 10 pens? It is 6 into 10, that is 60. What is the cost of 70 pens? That is 6 into 70, that is 420 rupees. So this is how we find answers using unitary method. So children, we just saw an example with pens using unitary method. Now let's see one more question related to unitary method. This is an exercise question. So the question is, in 5 hours a vehicle cover 220 km. Traveling at the same speed, how much distance would the vehicle cover in 9 hours? Okay. So in 5 hours the vehicle can cover 220 km, and the question is to find how much distance the vehicle can cover in 9 hours. Okay. For this we should find how much distance can the vehicle cover in 1 hour. Okay. If we get that, we can easily find the distance covered by the vehicle in 9 hours. So the distance covered in 5 hours is 220 km, and to find the distance covered in 1 hour, we should divide 220 by 5. Okay. So when you divide 220 by 5, we get 44 km. So distance covered in 1 hour is 44 km. So the distance covered in 9 hours will be 44 into 9. That is the distance covered in 1 hour into 9 hours. So 44 into 9, we get 396 km. So the distance covered in 9 hours is equal to 396 km. So till now we learned about ratio, proportion and unitary method. So children, our next topic is about percentage. So in day-to-day life we come across percentage, isn't it? In order to find discount, we come across percentage, or the profit, loss, all those things we need to know the concept of percentage. If we do not know, people would cheat us, isn't it? So let's learn in detail about percentage and the conversion of percentage to decimals, ratios, fractions and all. See here, I have something here. Yes, it's Pringles and the cost is rupees 99. So if the shopkeeper give this to me for 40% discount, then how much should I pay? I should pay only 60% of 99. So how can we find that? Let's see. So children, how to find 60% of 99? We should write like 99 by 100 into 60. So the total percentage is 100, isn't it? So 99 by 100, and what percentage is required? So that is 60. So we have to multiply that by 60. So 99 by 100 into 60. So here we can cancel these zeros since it is in the numerator and denominator. And then multiply 99 by 6, that is 594. And write this 10 as it is, 594 by 10. And you have learned in the decimals chapter, if you have 10, 100 or thousands in the denominator, we have to look at the number of zeros and then accordingly put the points. So here we have 1 0, so put point after one number. So we have 59.4. So you need to pay only 59.4 or 59 rupees to the shopkeeper since he gave the Pringles for 40% discount. Okay. So children, in case of marks, so if you have marks out of 100, okay, and if you have got 49 out of 100, so what is the percentage of it? We should write 49 by 100 and multiply that by 100. So here we have 100 common, so we can cancel, and the percentage would be 49%. And then if we have marks out of 20 and we got 15 out of 20, okay, then what is the percentage? We can write 15 by 20 and multiply that by 100. So when you multiply by 100, here we can cancel, that is 2 zeros we can cancel, and 10 by 2. So when you multiply by 2, 1 into 2 is 2 and 5 into 2 is 10, and the remaining is we should multiply 15 by 5. 15 into 5 is 75. So we get 75%. So children, let's learn the conversion of this fraction to percentage by two methods. Okay, here I have 1 by 4. So as we did earlier, multiply this fraction with 100. Okay, now 1 by 4 into 100 is 25. 100 by 4 is 25. So this is 25%. Now the second method is to make the denominator 100. So how can we make this denominator 100? By multiplying 4 with certain number. So the number shall be 25. So if you multiply both numerator and denominator by 25, we will get 25 by 100. We got the same thing back. Now what is 25 by 100? We should convert this to percentage. So we can multiply by 100 and make it as 25%. So children, we learn to convert fractions to percentage, isn't it? Now let's convert decimals to percentage. Here we have 0.32. How to convert this decimal number into percentage? We should just multiply the given decimal by 100. So here it is 0.32 into 100 percentage. So when you multiply a number with 100, we should just leave the decimals and write the numbers and write these two zeros. And now come back to the decimal and see after how many digits the point is. So after 2 digits the point is. So write the point here. So it is 32 percentage. So 0.32 is 32 percentage. Now when it comes to 1.5, similarly we should just multiply the given decimal by 100. 1.5 into 100. So when you multiply, leave the decimals and write the numbers. So since there are 2 zeros, write 2 zeros here. Now see after how many digits the point is. After 1 digit. So put the point here. Now the answer is 150 percentage. So 1.5 is 150 percentage. So children, we learn to convert fractions and decimals to percentage. Now it's a turn for ratios. How to convert a ratio to percentage? Here I have a question, 7:25. So the first point is convert the ratios to fraction. So 7:25 can be written as 7/25. Now this is in the form of fraction. So just multiply this fraction by 100. So 7/25 into 100. Now we can do cancellation. That is 1 into 25 is 25 and 4 into 25 is 100. Now just multiply 7 and 4. 7 into 4 is 28. So 7:25 can be written in the form of percentage as 28 percentage. So children, we learn to convert fractions, decimals and ratios to percentage. Now let's learn to convert percentage to fractions, decimals or ratios. So here I have a question, that is 3.5 percentage. Now we should convert this 3.5 percentage to fractions. Okay, for that first let's remove this point. So in order to remove the point, we have only 1 digit after the point. So multiply both numerator and denominator by 10. So when you multiply 3.5 by 10, we get it as 3, 5 and the 0 by 10. So here you see after 1 digit the point is. So after 1 digit, let's put the point. So we get 35 by 10. Okay. And after this, we should multiply that whatever we get, we should multiply that with 1 by 100. So 35 by 10 into 1 by 100. So 35 into 1 is 35 and 10 into 100 is 1000. So we get 35 by 1000. Now let's reduce this fraction. So we have these two numbers which is divisible by 5, isn't it? So we have 7 into 5 is 35 and here 200 into 5 is 1000. So we can reduce this 35 by 1000 as 7 by 200. So see here we have 7 by 200 as fractions. So we can convert this fraction to ratios as 7:200. So we can write this 3.5 percentage as 7:200. Okay. Now let's move on to decimals. So let's convert this fraction to decimal. That means we are converting this 3.5 percentage to decimal. So let's divide. As you do normal division, do it. Okay. So here 7 is smaller than 200. So let's put a point and put 0 here. But still it's small. So let's put one more 0 and put 0 here. Now we have 3 into 200 as 600. So write 3 here and 600 here. So we have the difference as 100. Now again we can continue the division. So since 100 is smaller, put one more 0. Now 200, that is 5 into 200 is 1000. So we got the remainder as 0 and the quotient is 0.035. So 3.5 percentage is 0.035 as decimals, and as ratios we can write it as 7:200, and in the form of fractions we can write it as 7/200. So children, our next topic is percentage for comparison. So here I have a question, that is, out of 450 people in a village A, 150 are literate. Out of 220 people in village B, 110 are literate. Which village has the highest literacy rate? So the total number of people in village A is 450 and number of literates is 150. And in village B, total number of people is 220 and literates are 110. So let's make this into percentage and then find which village is having highest literacy rate. So in village A, the percentage would be 150, that is literates, by total people, that is 450. 150 by 450 into 100. Okay. So here we can cancel these zeros. Okay. And 1 into 15 is 15 and 3 into 15 is 45. So we get 100 by 3. So 100 by 3 can be written as mixed fraction as 33 1/3 percentage. Okay. And we have in village B, the total number of people are 220 and the literates are 110. So we can form this as percentage as 110 by 220 into 100. Now we can cancel these zeros. Okay. 1 into 11 is 11 and 2 into 11 is 22. So we get 100 by 2. 100 by 2 is 50 percentage. So which village has the highest literacy rate? Yes, it's village B, which is having 50% of literate peoples. So children, I have a question from exercise 8.3, question number 9. Okay, the question is, bottle A contains a mixture of 2 liter of milk and 5 liter of water, and bottle B contains 3 liter of milk and 8 liter of water. In which bottle is the concentration of milk higher? Okay, there are 2 bottles, bottle A and bottle B. So both the bottles have mixture of milk as well as water. So the total amount of mixture in bottle B in bottle B is 3 and 8, which is 11 liters, and in bottle A it is 2 plus 5, which is 7 liters. Okay, and now the question is to find only the concentration of milk, which is higher. So concentration of milk is given as 2 liter for bottle A and 3 liter for bottle B. So what we have to do is write the total liters or total mixture of bottle A in the denominator and the amount of milk in the numerator. Okay, so in bottle A the total mixture is 7 liters and 2 liters of milk. So to find percentage of milk in bottle A, we can write it as 2 by 7 into 100. So 2 into 100 is 200 by 7. Now when you divide 200 by 7, we will get it as 28.4 by 7 percentage. Okay, and in case of bottle B, the total mixture is 11 liters and the milk is 3 liters. So we have written the amount of milk, whatever it is, the numerator, and total mixture as the denominator. So 3 by 11 into 100, that is 3 into 100 is 300 by 11. Okay, so after division we get it as 27.3 by 11 percentage. Now compare both of these, 28.4 by 7 and 27.3 by 11. Which is highest? This one, isn't it? So the concentration of milk is higher in bottle A. Got it? So children, in this video we learned about ratio, proportion, unitary method and percentage. So there is an activity for you. Just find out the percentage of which you learn at home. Okay, there are 24 hours in total, and find out how much time you learn and find the percentage from it. Okay, so children, take care. Bye.